Once again, it's me, KNG. I'm here to really talk about this situation, with Jonathan Majors. Boy got hit with a heifer, didn't he? Yeah. I've coined the term heifer, the Hillary erosive, feminine, fraudulent accusation. A heifer. And this heifer then went ahead and did something crazy, trying to erode his whole career, obviously. So, um, now the accusations, he said, are a lie, and will people care? She's a white woman, he's a black man. It's so the youth might not see the same way as the old, but there are people in a swing position. People that are going into power, people that are going to be passed down power and wealth and resources with inheritance that still have same viewpoints as their fathers or grandfathers. So, what am I saying? Could his career be over? Maybe, maybe not. Definitely, he's made such a name for himself and such an impact in a small window of time that he will be relevant. But will he bounce after? So right now he's still on the upswing of the bounce, right? So when it bounces down again, how deflated is it? You know what I mean? Because it's still going to hit up a little bit, even if it's completely deflated, right? Because of how high his bounce is. When you're talking about boom, number one movies consecutively, same year, you know what I mean? That's pretty high. And then even if it doesn't, but bounces a little bit, it's still gonna bounce. But the consecutive bounces, how long, or what's his longevity? What's his consistent work going to be? But I believe he could definitely have a role on bounce. I kid, but not really. So the heifer. Let's talk about the heifer. And this heifer um, was what I believe was a plant, an industry plant. Um, Now, if you know, like I know, Kanye West, he talks about industry plants, people they put around you. And other people talk about this as well. So it is backed by others that have claimed the same. So in the industry, they put people around you in order to influence your mind and decision making opportunities, so on and so forth, steering you into a desired path. Now, is this half of a plant? Uh, and though she might be, let's talk about the white arm candy and on the black man, right? Now, some people they have it, mm, black man out there trying to get a white one. True enough, it happens. But the reasons that it happens. Now, if you know, like I know, in the sports arena, they have these um, white wives, not only because they might be attractive, but because it does something for their image. Now, I'll give you a scenario here. Um, his white wife as a NBA player, NFL player, might allow him access, or continued access to certain groups, certain crowds, and with those certain groups and crowds, he's able to engage in talks of business, and listen to investments and things of that nature. He's in a different um, arena. You know what I mean? I mean, just because you have money doesn't mean that you are with money, because obviously a lot of these athletes come from humble beginnings, and they feel comfortable around those who grew up in the same situation that they did. So when you have this white wife who is, for all intents and purposes, a gold digger, she might have an outside view of what you're used to, and has a lifestyle, or have lived and experienced different things, whether it be cultural, artistic, what have you. So she is going to be the talker and the relationship when it comes to the introductions, the negotiations per se, the um, and just small talk, you know, allowing you to feel comfortable in those sit down tables, because not everything happens at the business office. A lot of times it happens in dinners, golf courses, et cetera, et cetera. But having this white woman allows you to go, okay, well, she can talk, I'll listen, and I might pick up something while I'm there. If your ears are open, if that's what you're not looking to do. Now, um, also another snippet is people might be trying to get at her, right? People might be trying to get at her, and because that you are the bringer of her, so basically they'll say, all right, to get access to her, I need to go through him. Let's bring him so I can see her, because people are swingers at the end of the day. Sometimes, when you get into the upper crest, when you get into these rich, you know, events, and people that have a choice of what they will and won't do, they like to do somebody else's, right? I mean, it's just what it is. So you might have access to them as they have access to the possibility of your wife, and that needs to be said. It can't be understated. So I'd say this in athletics because it happens more oftentimes, because obviously it does happen in the entertainment industry when you talk about actors, but it's so many more athletes than actors, right? But that's why I believe she was a plant, someone in place to ease in Jonathan Majors. You know, he is, for all intents and purposes, um, a strong African face, demeanor, masculine presence type of figure. You know what I mean? So, the wide nostrils, the big lips, these things, hit hard. And she basically smooths those rough edges when it comes to perception. You know what I mean? So maybe he did get her for that reason, or maybe people was in his ear about. So you like her? Because they might have had a one-off. You know, obviously, it's easier for a man to have a one-off, something that's just a release, than a relationship, right? So he might have had a release with it, and there's people in his ear, other plants, other uh, people that said, "Hey, why don't you get at a shot, man? Y'all look good together." Blah 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 XYZ, because his plant has told him to say this to you, right? So this is the way it works. It's the cabal, the network. It's outside influencing inside from an inner circle. All right, I can explain that, but we don't have time for all of that shit. So he's got with her, smoothing out his edges or whatever, getting access where he might not have access, and allowing himself to be maybe a sex symbol or more attractive to a greater audience. You know what I mean? Because he is with this white woman showing pictures and what have you. Then that way he can now say, or white women will see him as an option, a viable option for, um, a sex symbol. Black women will naturally already see him, and then because she's a white woman, every other race see, because white beauty is the standard of beauty. We don't have to go into all of that. I'm just letting you know how it is. And so this is something that people aren't saying about Jonathan Majors, that he might have been with the plant, that now this plant is turning into a mold, if you will, or someone who is tightening the reins on his career, saying, I have the power to do XYZ. Now, because she's turned the screw, now everybody else can say, hey, you do this and we'll allow you to continue. You don't do this and you will bounce yourself on bounce. Right? So we have to understand the way the game is played. This right here is an initial offering into the dire strengths that he can wind himself in. Uh, and obviously, that's my time. My light went out. I don't even have my other light on. Let me go do that. All right. So, hopefully, I got to look through this tape, but I don't think I showed anything. Um, but the um, the reality of it is, um, he has to now play ball much more than he would have before. I'm signing out. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. And, you know, hit the notification bell, man. We going up.